The arrival of film forever changed political satire, adding motion to the expression of humor. For years, satire had thrived on its voice, but now it needed a face, and that face turned out to be that of the common man. The face had a name: Will Rogers.
Now that the applesauce and bologna is all over.
Today, the consensus on Will Rogers is he knew how to make you feel at ease. In the 1930s, people felt that way too.
His chewing gum is comforting, his grammar is comforting. He can turn a theater into a grocery store and make us pay $5 to sit around the Cracker Barrel.
Contemporaries of Rogers agree, saying much of what made Rogers so funny had nothing to do with his jokes.
I think a great important factor in the appreciation of Will's humor was the obvious one of his personality. In fact, it's almost impossible to appreciate his humor fully unless you relate it to his personality.
Rogers got his unique personality growing up in the West. He first became an expert roper, but then began telling jokes at his shows. This made him more popular than ever.
I haven't welcomed the governors. I want to welcome them too, because that's one thing we do in California is welcome. We'll welcome anything will come here.
Throughout his career, Rogers was a popular figure.
I think that nobody ever resented Will. Everybody enjoyed his humor because he seemed to speak for the little man, the man with no collar on.
This meant a plain-spoken style of humor.
He rarely used flowery language, and he never got into fields that the little person couldn't understand what he was getting at.
That didn't mean Rogers failed to add sophistication to his jokes.
Cairo. Oh, landed in Cairo, yeah. But didn't see the Sphinx. I had already seen Mr. Coolidge.
That was the other thing about Rogers. He loved flying. In 1935, he traveled to Alaska with famed aviator Wiley Post. They rode the Orion Explorer, a plane made of two older models.
Their plane proved dangerous to land. While taking off from a lagoon near Point Barrow, Alaska on August 15th, the Orion Explorer's engine quit. The aircraft dove straight into the shallow water, killing both Post and Rogers on impact.
Decades after his death, the personality, voice, and face of Will Rogers paint a picture of modern American satire in its infancy. In speaking the people's concerns about government and the status quo, Will Rogers laid the groundwork for the mass media era of satire. This is Michael Contino reporting for NCC News.